We're going to steal an idea from the vinyl community on YouTube, and they do these tags where somebody will come up with 15, 20 questions, they'll give their answers, and then other YouTubers will take the same questions and make a video on it. I always think these are interesting, maybe talk about some things that you don't normally talk about on your channel, and I thought it'd be fun to find out from other YouTubers in the hi-fi world what their thoughts are on some of these. I came up with like 11 questions. I'm going to go ahead and give my answers, and hopefully some other people out there with YouTube channels want to do this. It doesn't matter if you're a small channel or a big channel. If you need a topic for another video, here you go. It'll be fun. This video today is brought to you by skylabsaudio.com. New vinyl records added every week. Electronics by Advanced Paris, Grado, Cambridge Audio, t-shirts and hats. Skylabsaudio.com helps support the channel. We really appreciate you watching. Thanks. My first question. First piece of gear that led you down the hi-fi rabbit hole, and for me, I know we've talked about this a few times, but it's definitely that little Harman Kardon 330C. I had heard really good pieces of stereo equipment before. It just wasn't mine. And it's different, you know, when you're sitting in your living room or your listening room, and you're getting to experience on your own a piece of hi-fi equipment that really moves you. And for me, it was that 330C. You know, even though I paid 50 bucks for it, it was that light bulb moment for me. I don't think I'd be standing here in this building if it wasn't for that Harman Kardon 330C. Always gonna have a place in my heart for me. Great little receiver. That's all I needed for the switch. That was it. It was full on after that. Number 2, favorite piece of hi-fi equipment that you currently own. For me, again, and I know I've talked about this one quite a bit, but it's my Sansui AU 20,000. You know, at this point, I was pretty far down the rabbit hole with vintage audio. I knew I wanted one. I just didn't think one was ever going to show up, at least local, and I didn't want to pay eBay prices. And one night sitting on the couch, probably watching TV, I got a notice saying a Sansui AU 20,000 is for sale. And I clicked on it and it said 40 bucks, like new, come get it. And I called the guy and I said, is it still available? And he said, I just hit publish. And I was like, fine, I'm on my way. Actually, right next to Buck's Arena on Hickman Road. And I went over to the guy's house. It was out in the garage. It wasn't hooked up, but the thing was mint. You know, he's only asking 40 bucks for it. And he said, do you want to listen to it? And I said, nope, I'm good. You know, here's the 40 bucks. You know, I've told that story before, and some people get upset and say, you know, you stole it from him and you should have paid more for it. And, you know, why? You know, back then when I bought it, it was probably worth maybe 400. You know, and at the time I didn't have any money. Man, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I think I was doing construction at the time. I didn't offer him 35. I gave him what he was asking for. You know, he told me when I didn't think anybody would want it. If you think that was shady or crappy, yeah, I'm sorry, but I didn't have any money anyway. You know, I just got a good deal. You know, every once in a while, you just get a good deal. And that guy got his value out of it. He loved it. He used it. And that's what he wanted for it. That's what I paid. Number 3, product you bought you regretted. All right, this wasn't that long ago. Maybe, I don't know, 8 years ago. I'm terrible with anything within 20 years, I guess, but I bought a Marantz NA6005, which is a network streamer. At the time I was using Sonos. I wanted something with a better DAC, just something better. And it sounded great. It looked great. I liked it, I did. But the interface with the mobile app and the remote and everything, it sucked. It really did. You know, it was constantly dropping from the network. Navigating through it wasn't enjoyable at all. So I ended up trading for another Sonos piece. I think it was a Play 3. It happens, you know, sometimes you buy something and after you live with it for a little while, you realize this isn't a good fit. It happens. It's part of the journey, really. If you could only use one song to demo your stereo system, what would it be? And what I mean by that is, if you could only use one song to judge a stereo system, maybe a product that you were thinking of buying and you wanted to demo one song on it, what would it be? And for me, it's actually a song that I don't like. I don't like the song, and it's Fever. Fever. I don't like the song. But anyway, the Ray Charles version off of Ray Loves Company with Natalie Cole, it's got everything I need to judge a stereo system on. Obviously, in a perfect world, I'd have 4 or 5 songs that I could demo, but if I just had one, it'd probably be that. For the reason it's got female vocals, it's produced really well. The bass is excellent. It's really good at letting you know if there's a weakness in the bass. If you got a set of speakers, you want to find their limits, that's a great song to use. It will fart out your woofers pretty easily if you drive it hard at all. So I just think it's got everything I need to get a really good gauge on how the system's performing. If you haven't heard that version of Fever, definitely check out the Ray Charles Fever off of Ray Loves Company. It's a good one to have in your arsenal if you're out testing out a piece of gear. Number 5, money's no issue, perfect system. And this one's pretty easy for me. That would be a set of ADS 2030s. I've wanted those speakers for a long time. They are very elusive. For me, that's the king of ADS. And I love my 810s, but if I had a big room, I would want those ADS 2030s. If they sound anything like my 810s do, but on a bigger scale, I'm gonna love them. I know I am. Next thing I would get, I'm going vintage. That doesn't mean you have to, but the next thing on my list would be a Sansui BA 5000. That's the big monster, huge rack handles amplifier from Sansui. For me, that's the be-all end-all of 70s amplifiers. I love the look of it. I love the build of it. And if it sounds anything like my AU 20000, I'm going to be happy with it. The only bummer with the BA 5000 is they didn't make a CA 5000. So you don't have a matching preamp. I'd probably get a CA 3000. Yeah, CA 3000 to go with it, because I would want to have the set. Even though they're not a match set, I'd be okay with that. In a perfect world, I'd probably have 2 BA 5000s, run a mono, and then have a CA 3000 in the middle. BA 5000, CA 3000, set of ADS 2030s. Turntable, I'd probably go, the problem with turntables is I'm pretty happy with the ones I've got. I don't need a $175,000 Air Force One turntable. I mean, that'd be nice, but I'm good with my Sansuis and my Garrard 301. I don't think I need anything else. I think that's my money's no object list. And I'm really not even swinging for the fences, I mean, I think that's a pretty modest system, honestly. I think the speakers maybe 2,500 for a really nice set, and then the amplifier and preamp, I think probably, on the high side, probably 10. And that's just guessing. I haven't looked in a while. One of those pieces will show up at a decent price, or I'll probably never own them. And that's okay. I got plenty of stuff to play with. If you had to choose one music format, what would it be? For me, this is really easy. It would be streaming. It's just too convenient, and it's gotten so good that, I would miss reel-to-reel, and I would miss vinyl records for sure. The ability to have my entire collection in my pocket, you can't beat it. As far as sound quality goes, my opinion is always going to be reel-to-reel is the superior format, but it's also the least portable, the most expensive. So for that reason, I'll take the streaming. Number 7, what's a stereo product that people love that you just don't understand? For me, it's Klipsch Heresies. I don't get it. I really don't. Every time I get a set of Heresies and I listen to them, I instantly don't like them. Now, the Series 4 are better, but I still can't get it. I'm sorry to the Heresy diehards out there. You know, you probably don't like my ADS or my JBL, so it's fair, you know. But you know, and it's not that I dislike all clips. I think the Cornwalls are amazing. I really like Cornwalls. And, you know, it doesn't really make sense because they're so similar. But for me, that Heresy I just don't like them. So there's enough people out there that love Heresies that it doesn't matter what I think about them anyway. You know, nothing's going to tarnish the Klipsch Heresy speaker. It's legendary for people. So I just don't get it. That's all. What is your next upgrade? For me, this is very easy. It is my room because I don't have one. Our current house is terrible for acoustics. It's awful. And I hope that changes soon. Either Skylabs is going to get a space that is room corrected, you know, good acoustics, or my wife and I have to get a different house. You know, it's just life. It's the way it is. It's my next upgrade. There's no point in upgrading anything else until I get an acoustically treated room. And I'm not saying, you know, I need a floated floor and the HVAC and, you know, I don't need to go crazy, but I need something better than what I've got. Because right now it's a big living room with hardwood floors, kind of a smaller rug, a ton of windows, seated on the wrong side of the wall because of the front door. It's bad. And there's nothing I can do about it right now. I could put it in the basement, but when the drain backs up, it ruins the carpet, it's gonna ruin the drywall, and it's not possible where I'm at now. So maybe in a year or so, we'll be able to move and I'll be able to get a better room, and then I can start worrying about more semantics when it comes to my gear. Right now, I'm limited by my room. No upgrades for me. Number 9, piece of stereo equipment that you kept in your system for looks alone. I've had several, you know, I've kept EQs around because they look cool, you know, even if they're bypassed. But there for a long time, I had a Sansui 700 reverb unit. You know, I just used it as a light display because I thought it looked cool. You know, I had everything Sansui. You know, I kind of got past that phase. Not to say there's anything wrong with it. If, you know, if you have a massive Pioneer or Marantz collection and, you know, you want all the extras to go with it. But that's definitely the one that I kept around in my system. And actually, when I bought it, I don't think I ever even hooked it up. I mean, I've heard a reverb unit before. Maybe that's why I never hooked it up. I knew there was absolutely no reason I would ever want to put additional reverb on anything I'm playing in my stereo. Fortunately, the Sansui ones, you could still get the visuals without having to have the audio go through it. So that's the one that I left in my system for just looks alone, period. Number 10, last piece of equipment that made you want to re-listen to your entire music collection. That would be my ADS L810s. You know, those pieces of equipment, once you hit a certain caliber of equipment, you stop getting those moments as much. At least I have. But going from entry-level JBLs or my Sirwin Vegas, and then getting a pair of ADS L810s, I wanted to hear everything I owned again because I was hearing things in recordings that I had never heard, even though I'd heard those songs 1,000 times. Unfortunately, I don't know how many more of those I'm gonna get in my life. You know, well, the next one will be my room, but as far as equipment goes, that level of an upgrade it's just rare for me, where it's that significant, where the clarity and the detail and everything is just magnified. You're just going through your collection going, oh my God, I can't wait to hear this on that. You know, or I wonder what this is gonna sound like. This already sounded good. It's gonna sound so much better. You know, or you hear a little bell or a whisper or something you've heard 1,000 times and you're hearing a detail you never heard before. That's fun. That's a good upgrade right there. That's as good as they get, I think. I forgot to answer one of my own questions in this tag video, so I'm gonna do it real quick. What is an accessory that's come out recently that you can't imagine living without at this point? And for me, it is this right here, the ultrasonic cleaner. I can't imagine going back to just the old ways of cleaning records, especially for large collections. And this one I don't necessarily recommend for everybody. It's an iSonic, and I'll have a link down in the description. Yeah, I think we've been using this for 5-6 years, and we use it every week. So I would look at Human Gurus over this one. And right now, Eric and John both have those here at the shop. I'd like to get one at some point, but for now, I just bring my records in to the shop and use this one. This one's cool because it does 10 records at a time. And, you know, as you can see, you know, we have a ton of records to clean because we buy collections. That one works good for the store, but if I were to get one for personal use, I'd probably get the Human Guru because it cleans it and then it also dries it. And because we ultrasonic clean all of our used records, it would just take forever on a single ultrasonic cleaner like a Human Guru. So anyway, that's why I have this one. It's worked great for me. If you've got massive amount of records, you own a record store, or you buy a lot of collections, you might want to look at that one. I'll have a list of all the HiFi channels that I watch down in the description. Definitely go check those out. There's some great channels out there. I think it'd be fun if they did them, either use these questions or make some other questions, and maybe you know, we'll do a follow-up video to theirs. So for all of you out there that have a HiFi YouTube channel, doesn't matter if you just started it, make a list. It's always fun. Thanks for watching another video. Really appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks.